Hey, what's up, guys? This is Kia from HappySolutions.com, back once again to talk about the next inspirational quote. I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit differently than I normally do, and I wanted to start by just, explaining a little bit about myself and why I make these videos, and then I'll go ahead and bring in the quote. So, let's go ahead and jump right in. The reason that I started making videos in the first place was because I felt like I've considered myself a person that I try to make people that I care about, or, people that are around me, comfortable enough to feel like they can talk to me. And thus far, I've always kind of been the advice giver. So, in addition to that, I have a huge interest in psychology, and I'm just super duper obsessed with, personal development and knowing yourself and getting your shit together and all of it, mainly because it is currently my life's work. It's currently like my project on myself that I've been working on for quite a bit now, but I would definitely say that I've learned a lot, so much to the point where all I want to do is share it. Like, every time I learn something new, I just feel like everybody should know this information. So why not? Is it easy? Hell to the no. It's not easy at all. But, I'm one of those crazy people that feel like you should follow your passion. You should follow your dreams and, do what makes you feel happy, even if it's uncomfortable or, despite what other people may think. I mean, I just feel like that. Ask my kids, like, ask my fiance. That's me all day long. Like, I just feel like that. So, with that in mind, like, just that passion to kind of want to share and just kind of be something bigger than yourself, leave your mark on the world. One day I won't be here, but hell, maybe this video will be here and it'll help somebody else. Like, that would just mean the world to me if that happens. So, here I am. But what makes it hard, honestly, is, it makes you feel really vulnerable. It makes you feel really exposed. It makes you feel watched. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not secure with yourself, or even if you just want to be a little bit more secure of yourself, sometimes you just gotta do it. Like, sometimes it's 100% like something that you will literally only know if you do it. And, you can say, oh man, I really want to do this, but I really don't know where to start, or, I really don't know, what the first step would be. Find out, is my advice. Find out. There is free information everywhere. I did not graduate high school, and to this day, like, it still fucks with me, like, so much. I feel like that has always kind of defined how I felt about myself. Like, not being able to experience that walk across the stage is just like, whatever, another video for another day. But I'm saying that to say that, my excuse for a long time was that I needed to go to school. It's kind of like, how can I help people if, I don't even know the information? So I started just using the very free resources that I already had. YouTube is a huge, like, ginormous resource for me. I come to YouTube for everything. Anything that I want to know, I'm like 1,000% sure there's a video on it. And yeah, that was literally what happened. Like, this whole journey for me started when, at one of my old jobs I had, there was a manager there, and we were having a meeting, and this manager, he was just so motivating, and like, he just used to always seem like he believed in like what he was talking about so much, like, but it stood out to me. It wasn't normal. It wasn't just like, you guys can do it, like, this is a great company. It was like, you could tell on a deeper level that he really believed what he was saying. So after the meeting, I asked him, like, what does he do like to stay so motivated and just to, be so all in like that? And he told me that he listens to positive affirmations. At the time, I didn't know what the hell that meant, so I just jotted it down on, my little notepad and pen. They always tell you to bring something right with at a meeting, so I just wrote it down, like, just to remember it, for another time. And it was just like, yeah, I never forgot it. I don't think I still have that notepad, but just the phrase positive affirmations, like, I just remembered it. And I don't remember when I was able to Google it or what, but one day I was like, let me see if I can find some of these positive affirmations on YouTube. And sure enough, like, yeah, there were thousands and gajillions of them. So I picked one and I listened to it, and it tells you in the beginning, the video, it was like 400 positive affirmations to listen to, like, when you go to sleep or some shit. And it was from Bernadette Logue. I'm subscribed to her on YouTube. She was kind of like my first gateway YouTube channel to kind of help me get on this path. So, I listened to it and I'm just like, man, this shit is so cool, like, I tell Chris about it, and yeah, just kind of catapulted from there. Once you start kind of getting the vibe going with YouTube, they give you like some really cool ass recommendeds that are in the same category. So I just kept getting stuff sent to me after that, like, it seemed. And then, a few years pass, and then we watch The Secret on YouTube. Damn it, on Netflix. And that just, like, it just turned my life upside down. Like, honestly, it really just made me view everything different. It really made me have this hunger and this drive for, the whys, and, just uncovering, like, layers and layers and layers. Like, that's my shit, honestly. Like, I can literally do it all day long. And, because I'm just so hungry and so passionate for this, like, I feel the need to talk about it. Like, I'm one of those people that can never get bored from just talking, like, just listening to information, and processing it, and rewiring your brain, and finding out the whys and the hows, and all of that. Like, that's my shit, seriously. Now, I'm saying all this to say that when I make these videos, or anytime I'm putting out an inspirational quote, it's just because, like, it resonates with me on a totally different level, and in a way that I feel like could help somebody. I'm not getting fed questions, or a lot of times it's kind of hard to just draw something out of yourself that's not initiated, that's not, like, prompted. Another person's not talking to me, or, like, I'm not trying to figure it out. I literally just stumble across it, or look for something that maybe seemingly one way, but deeply another way. And I go there, I take it there, I dissect that shit, and get on here and talk about it with you. So hopefully it'll help whatever you're going through. But I want to get more direct. I think a lot of times, like, we're so vague, like, we'll post shit, or, like, see quotes or something that we really like, but we don't live like it. Like, we don't talk about it. Like, that's not really us in terms of who we've been thus far. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody in the universe has the potential to break through that and be their true, authentic selves. I genuinely feel like there's nothing that there's nothing in the world that you can't do. I feel like that with, like, every ounce of my soul. It's not easy. It's not. Life is hard. We all go through really difficult things. We all have our certain ways that our mind has been programmed, and, certain influences and circumstances and all that stuff that makes up who we are, certain experiences the same that don't make the same issues have the same outcome for everybody. Like, I get that. And I feel like, if it is something that you're struggling with, or if you have been feeling like, damn, I really want things to be different, or I really want to change, or I really want to be better, or, I really want to stop making excuses about this, if you feel like you have a problem and you know the answer, but for some reason you're just not doing it. That's the kind of stuff I want to talk about. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you should be looking up information about, using your resources. I'm your resource. You know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube is your resource. Pinterest is a huge resource. Google, all of it. Honestly, like, if you want to know something, do the work to figure it out, to change it. Because posting quotes and liking posts and all of that stuff, that's not making you better in any way. You're not fooling anybody. I think that people like to see it. That's why they like it. I'm one of those people. I'm definitely guilty. Like, yeah, I like it. I like to read a quote about how I'm a strong woman, but am I strong all the time? No, I'm not. And, it gets hard. But just know that you're never stuck. You always have a choice. And I think that's the biggest thing that we forget, is that we have a choice in every moment of every day. Like, your life is 100% your choice. I'm not saying that everything that's happened to you in your life was your choice, because that would be a lie. But what I'm saying is, every day that you wake up, you have a choice on how you handle your whole day. You have a choice on if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. You have a choice on whether or not you want to get mad at the person that cut you off in traffic. You have a choice whether or not you want to get pissed off because everything is just not seemingly going right, or whatever. Like, you can literally choose your emotion. It doesn't matter what any outside force does, whether that be a person, a circumstance, traffic, or whatever the hell it could be, excuses or whatever. None of that dictates what you do. Only you do. And if you haven't felt like that, then maybe you're not sure how, or maybe you haven't been informed of that information before now. And maybe I just sound like I'm just saying some crazy ass shit, but it's true. And I truly believe that with practice, with hearing the information, with talking about these things, and really making leaps and bounds in your life to get you where you want to be, you'll get there. I feel like that, like 1,000%. And it won't even take as long as you think. You just got to start. I know that it's scary sometimes to do anything. You may want to lose weight. You may want to write a book. You may want to go back to school. You may want to, I don't know, fucking do the same thing I'm doing right now and make videos and help people. Like, you may have a certain talent that you want to share, but you don't know how. Or, you may want to be a part of a certain cause or whatever, and you feel like, okay, so I know what I need to do, or, I know this will cost a lot of money, or, whatever it is. And, with that knowing, you just say, I know, and then you slap a butt at the end, then yeah, that butt is your killer. That's what's holding you back. You know what I mean? And you have to break through that, and you have to know how to break through that. You have to know why that's been a block for you, and that's information that I want to talk about. That's information that we can connect about and that you can kind of break down. So just for the sake of the video, for example, everybody needs to unplug. Whether you pray or you meditate or whatever you choose to do, you gotta unplug sometimes. You gotta have a moment of your life that isn't stimulated, that you're not looking at a screen, or you're not talking to people, or you're not listening to anything. You just chill the fuck out. Like, you have to have those moments. That's the first thing. Your brain, it processes all these thousands and thousands of things per second, nonstop, except for maybe when you sleep. But that's only for a short period of time until you start dreaming, if you do. So, you can't even really say that. So, number one, definitely unplug. Give yourself some me time. Stop feeling afraid of being by yourself sometimes. Stop being so afraid of, your thoughts, because you control them. That's what we're talking about now. So number one, definitely create some time just for yourself. Okay, and number two is I think I had a quote about, actually, I know I had a quote about this before. Stop worrying about what could go wrong, focus on what could go right. You got to be brave enough to be okay with failure, to, make mistakes and to not be perfect. And, like you have to be okay with that. Like it's just kind of a part of it. It's a part of life. It's the cost of your dream, which, we should all be willing to pay. I mean, it isn't fun, but it's definitely necessary. So, when you're up against those obstacles, you have a responsibility to kind of, jump over those hurdles in order to get exactly where you want to be. Hard doesn't equal stop. You have one or two options when you're faced with those problems. You can either win or learn. So it's really, really not even a lose-lose situation when you think about it. I found this amazingly awesome quote from Michael Jordan I want to share with you guys. Right? You know what I'm saying? We don't think about that. And it just did something to me, and it just made me feel like, wow, what's really holding me back? What am I really afraid of? Why does this change have to be so uncomfortable to me? And, I realized that the only thing that is standing in the way is myself. So I said all of that. I know I'm super long winded, but I said all of that to give you the next inspirational quote. So, Inspired Quote 17 reads, life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than you are to your comfort zone. So, yeah, there you have it, guys. That has to be a goal. Like, you have to be willing to step out on faith. You have to be willing to do something different. Feel a little uncomfortable sometimes because that's the cost of it. You can either continue doing what you're doing, and you see how successful that's been. If you felt like what you were doing was working, then, I doubt you would be trying to find stuff that helps you be better. So, get out of that and be comfortable with looking at other options. So, if you're at the point where you're ready to do something different and, you're okay with that, then great. You got to make that first step. You got to get yourself where you want to be so that way you can have the life that you want. Now, guys, I am going to be honest, as I've been thus far. Um, I will make videos for you every week with more inspirational content. You can also find more inspirational material at my website, happysolutions.com. I will be ugh, I will be posting on Facebook as well as YouTube going forward. So definitely subscribe so that way you can get all of the new videos that I do put online for you as resources. Feel free to like, comment, or share if this video has been helpful for you, or if this is some information that someone else can use. And yeah, guys, until next time, smiling off.